We're still talking about circles, and we've been talking about the outside measurement of a circle, which is called the what? Circumference. Okay, come on. And if that shape was made up of straight lines, we would have called it not circumference, but the distance around is called perimeter. Good. But because they're circles, they have a special relationship. It's a little bit different. Now, today what we're going to do is we're going to begin our look at the space inside a circle, right? And the space inside of a two-dimensional object, right, flat, is called the what? Be careful. Area. There you go. Okay? Now, okay? So we have area. Remember that we have to maintain our units for the proper units. Remember that when we were working with just the distance around, that's just a simple measurement. So the unit, we just used regular units for that. So if we started in meters, what was our answer in? Meters. Okay? Now, but remember when we're talking about the space inside, we have measurements in more than one direction, right? We're talking about the space inside. So we ended up with, if we were with the units, what? Squared, right? So square units. So keep that in mind. For perimeter or circumference, it's just plain units.
What is that? Is that saying, oh,
P or C. Perimeter or circumference is just plain units. But for area, it's always units, what? Squared, or you can call them square units. And I use units, but remember, it could be, you need to be more specific of that than that. When it's centimeters, it would be centimeters squared, etc. But units kind of fuzz it up, the whole thing. And then finally, the last one we looked at was volume. And that's always measured in units what? Cubed. Because remember, volume has like length and height and width, right? It has three different measures to do that. Yes? Okay. All right. I will but you got this part. Okay, from now on. All right. So it's very important that we remember the units. The units don't change. Now, does a circle have length and width? No. So a circle has specific needs for defining the area. And if you cut a circle into tiny, 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 tiny little slivers, and then stuck all those slivers together, you would be able to identify the area of it. But instead, what we're going to do is just use a simple formula. And that formula requires that we remember that special ratio for circles. What is the special ratio of circles called? Pi, right. It's the ratio of the circumference to the what? Diameter. There you are. Okay? Now, we've looked at a couple of different things for circles. Remember that when you have a circle, you could have a line that goes all the way through the center, and that's called the what? Diameter. Or you can have a line that starts in the center and only goes to one side, so it's halfway through, which is called the what? Radius. How can I turn a radius into a diameter? Multiply it by 2. Exactly. There you go. Excellent. How can I use the diameter to find the radius?
Diameter times pi.
Well, just divide it by 2. There you go. Right? So if you know one, you can find the other easily. You're either going to make it bigger by 2 or you're going to make it smaller by dividing by 2, right?
Wait,
Do you see the relationship?
So is that the diameter of the whole circle?
No, the diameter is the distance all the way across through the center. Okay? All right. So today what we're going to do is we're going to look at the formula for area of a circle.
Wait, sorry, is the radius just half of the circle?
Radius is a line across half. Okay? Okay? The area of a circle has a simple formula. Area equals pi. Every formula that involves a circle is always going to have pi. Okay? But we're not going to use the diameter. We're going to use the other one. What is the other one? The radius, right? Sorry, it's all right. The radius. And remember that when you're talking about area, it's always in what kind of units? Squared. So what do you think we're going to do to the radius? Square it. So area, yes, exactly. So area equals pi times the radius squared. So if you wanted to expand that out, you could write it as area equals pi times the radius again, right? Remember that squaring something simply means multiply it times itself. Okay? So what information do I need to have in order to make this work?
The radius.
The radius. You bet. Why don't, do I have to figure out pi every time?
No.
Nope. Because unless we're told specifically to use some value, what do we always use for pi? 3.14. Now, does Education Perfect always use that value? No. If I told you to use some other value, would you use the value I tell you or the 3.14? The value you're told to in the problem, right? Be flexible. Now, where else can you also get a value for pi? What thing are you always supposed to be bringing with you every single day? Your calculator. So you need to know how to use the pi key on your calculator, right?
My pi key doesn't work.
Okay. Well, we'll figure out what's going on. Okay.
You press shift. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. All right.
No, you have to. What?
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you a few circles and we're going to practice this. And then we're going to go to Education Perfect and you're going to just find the area of circles all day long. Yay. Now remember, they can come in applications too, so we'll talk about that. So here we go. Let's say I have a circle and then I have a line from here to here. I put a little dot in the middle. Why do you think they put that there usually?
To mark the perfect center.
Yeah. Exactly. Because if you just have a line anywhere, is that the radius? No. It has to be from the center. So they usually put the little dot. They don't have to, but many times they do. Excellent. Perfect logic. Now, and let's say this is 4 centimeters. And I want you to find the area. Okay? So let's go to our magic machine.
Do we use the pi or do we use 3.14?
Well, I'm doing it, so what do I always want you to use?
3.14.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. If I don't, unless I tell you otherwise, I want you to use 3.14.
Can I get the calculators from the maths office?
They won't have the thing on it. Oh, well, they just have regular ones on there. So you don't have a calculator with you? Is that what you're saying?
Rounded to 2 decimal places. Is that...
I could ask you for less. What if I said, not rounded to 2 decimal places, but 1 decimal place? What would I get?
50.2.
Yeah, just 50.2. What happened to the 4? It's less than 5, so it just rounds away, right? Goes away. What if I said to the nearest whole number? Area would equal what?
50 centimeters squared.
Yes, and I forgot the units on there. Guys, you got to watch me. There you go. Thank you. I just didn't write it down. Okay? So, you can round all different types of places. Okay? How's it look? So what if I give you another circle and I tell you, let me give you another number. Sorry, I'm obsessing with one number here today, aren't I? Okay, say I have, you'll love this. I say that's 25 meters. Okay. And I want the area. I want you to use 3.14 for pi. No, wait a minute. I want you to use your fraction. I want you to use your calculator for pi. And if you don't have it, just hang out with somebody else. All right? So the pi key on the calculator is what I mean by that, right? Okay? Sorry, Nate, I keep forgetting to write bigger. All right. Then I want it rounded to 3 decimal places. Okay? Okay.
I get it.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right. First of all,
Wait, can you just do it for me?
you want to do it? Go, do it. I'll give you 1 minute, and then I'll start calling on you for answers.
How?
So we can use a calculator to do the math, but you have to be able to write out one of these two forms. And if you do not, then what am I going to do to your answer?
Destroy it.
I'm going to count it wrong. Because I've told you that yes, you can use the calculator, but you have to show me what you're calculating. Okay? Because just an answer, just a number, doesn't make any sense. Now, okay? 3 decimal places here. Now, you can do this, all the work in your calculator if you want to. Okay? Or you can do it other ways. Yes?
Do you have to, like, when you write it on your piece of paper, do you have to write that when you got, like, the short?
I did it.
The longer version, that's fine. Yeah. You don't have to show, she's right saying, do you have to write this as being squared? No, you could write it as 12.5 meters times another 12.5 meters. That format is fine, but it makes you write more, but it's okay.
When I tried to do it like that, I ended up with 9.81. No, 981.
All right. So we took our 12.5 meters and squared it, gave us our number. Now we're going to take that number times the pi key. And does somebody want to give me what you got when you did that?
Do I round it or not?
Just give me like to 5 decimal places.
Okay. 490.873852.
Is that the end of it or did it keep going? Okay. So that's what we get. That's the weird number we get. But I asked you to round it to what? 3 decimal places. So that's 1, 2, 3. What's the number after the 3rd decimal place? So what's that going to do to my 3? It's going to add 1 to that 3, so it gives me 490.87 what? 4. And what about the meters squared? And also notice that I didn't put equals, I put what? Squigglies, right? It's fine with me. Approximately equal to. Why did I put approximately equal to? Because I rounded, right. And right, even though I used my calculator key for pi, it's impossible, guys. Come on. You cannot write all the decimal places that it's going to have. Okay? You have to round. What's happened here is your calculator is already stopped because it can't do any more digits than that, right? Guys, shh. Okay? 5 or above. It goes up, right? Okay? Now, so look at what we have here. Area, you must state what it is you're measuring, right? Area, why squiggly equal symbol? Because we rounded, right? So it's not an exact figure, so it's about. Then the number, and then the units, and they better be squared. You have to have every single piece of that. Okay? How's it look? Okay.